Okay, so today I wanted to discuss how exactly Samantha Maxis going into the Dark Aether could change everything in regards to Cold War zombies. And when I say Cold War zombies, I actually mean the future of every single zombie's experience we will and could ever possibly get. Now, for the record, I cannot possibly cover every single way this could impact the storyline, as this could affect the storyline in quite literally an infinite number of ways. So in today's video, I will be covering some of the largest impacts this may have on the storyline, so if you have any ideas of your own, I'd love to discuss them in the comment section down below. So without further ado, let's begin. So as we know, during the Firebase Z Easter egg, Samantha Maxis is yeeted into the Dark Aether by Dr. Peck. We know that Peck was supposed to be torturing her for information, but instead, he threw her straight into the Dark Aether, and I don't know how he planned on getting information out of her from in the Dark Aether, but either way, that's what he did, and that's the situation we're now dealing with. And so when Samantha Maxis enters the Dark Aether, it could be big. We could see some serious story shifts as a direct result of this. Now, we've already been to the Dark Aether as Requiem in D Machine, so you might be wondering why it'd be different for Sam. Well, firstly, and the simplest answer to that is, while we were in the Dark Aether in D Machine, we were only in there for a very short amount of time, whereas Sam has been trapped there, essentially. And don't forget that time works very differently in the Dark Aether, so we don't actually know how long she could have been in there for, although given the state we see her in at the end of Firebase Z, I'm gonna hazard a guess and say it's not been too long, but also long enough to take an effect on her. You also might be asking what's so special about Samantha Maxis, which is a completely valid question until you look at the original Aether storyline. For those of you who aren't familiar with Sam's importance in the original Aether storyline, here's a quick little summary. So Sam was sent to the moon when she was young, and she ended up inside a device called the Moon Pyramid Device, or MPD for short. While inside the MPD, she was in a place called Dark, or the Aether. Can you see where this is going now? And from inside the MPD, she had control of a lot of things within the Call of Duty Zombies universe, including but not limited to the zombies, the drops we would get, such as nukes, max ammos, and all of that stuff. She had a lot of control. And now that's all you need to know about Sam for this video to make sense. If you'd like me to give more backstory to Samantha Maxis or any character from the Call of Duty Zombies storyline, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll see what I can do. So when Sam, who has already been corrupted by the Aether, enters the Dark Aether, who knows what could happen? She may fall in control of the Dark Aether or even just certain specific elements of it, and if that does happen, bad things could happen. I mean, for starters, we don't necessarily know how stable or unstable Omega's ethereal anomalies are, and if they are unstable, then Sam entering the Dark Aether could very easily cause the Dark Aether to overflow into this new universe. We know that Sam still possesses some ethereal powers, as we see her use them during the end cutscene of Alpha Omega. At this point, she isn't inside the MPD anymore, and therefore shouldn't necessarily have ethereal powers, but she does. And we don't necessarily know if that walk she took with Eddie into the light, or into this new universe I should say, stripped her of her powers, because by the looks of her eyes in the end of Firebase Z, I don't think they did. Now, we already know the mischief that Sam can get up to when she's corrupted by the Aether, and I don't even think I want to ask the question, what mischief can she get up to, and what chaos can she cause when she's corrupted by the Dark Aether? Let's not forget that Sam is pretty much going to be in a position where she could do anything. She could bring back to life any character. We know that she met, at least in some capacity, with either the bodies or the living versions of Ultimus and Primus, as she has some of their equipment towards the end of Firebase Z. Of course, it is also possible that she essentially formed these items out of her own willpower, as they might be items she associates with fighting against the Dark Aether, and she of all characters would possess the power to conjure up items of their will whilst in the Dark Aether. I'm truly excited to see where Treyarch will go with Sam's return to the Dark Aether. Of course, there's always the possibility that they'll do nothing at all, but then again, Craig Houston's never let us down in the past. I've got a lot more story videos coming to the channel in the near future. Next time, I'll be exploring exactly who could come back out of the Dark Aether. Some characters who we're not so familiar with, and others who we know very well. So if that does sound like something you're interested in, the subscribe button is always there. So with that all said, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, drop a like on the video. If you disliked the video, drop a dislike on the video. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you in the next video.